Hey everyone, it's Todd Hazelwood here from the team at Truck Assist and Matt Stone Racing, and this is my round 2 debrief of obviously just being recently at Symmons Plains Raceway in Tasmania for obviously round 2 of the Supercars Championship. So for us, it was a pretty solid weekend. Really pleased with obviously the team's development and the progress we're making behind the scenes, and to see that all coming to life so early on in our partnership together in only round 2. Achieving 3 top 10 finishes. So for us, it all started out pretty strong. We actually finished 3rd in practice overall, and then rolled out into qualifying. Again, was really strong in that Saturday qualifying session. It was a 3-tier system, so you had Q1, Q2, Q3. Q1, I think we were 3rd or 4th, and then the same for Q2. Didn't quite nail my lap in Q3, and obviously with such a short circuit of Symmons Plains, there's only really 3 main corners to get it right, and the smallest of imperfection on your lap is really punishing. So for me, I probably missed my marks by about half a tenth on that Saturday qualifying. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, but didn't, and we qualified 9th. So it was still a reasonable session inside the top 10. We moved our way up into 7th at the start of the race and was looking really strong, but unfortunately our car setup for that race 1 on Saturday was a little bit hard on the rear tyre, and we suffered with tyre life. We did fade back to about 13th. We're fortunate to pick up a couple positions with a bit of mischief and mayhem going up in front of us, and we finished P10. So still a really strong result. It was our second time that we qualified inside the top 10, 2 races in a row. So it was to finally get that first top 10 result for the year was a good tick off the list, and gave us plenty of confidence of what to work on for Sunday, particularly in the race, getting that race car better. And obviously we re-qualified again on Sunday morning. We had 2 12-minute sessions, really intense. You really basically get 1 or 2 laps on each tyre set to nail. And for us in the first qualifying session, was really close. I think we're less than a tenth away from being inside the top 3 of the standings. But again, we qualified 10th. So another top 10 result, which was strong. And then the preceding session was really exciting for the whole team. So for me, I was sitting provisional 3. I was one of the guys to run early in the session, and then there's another group of cars running later. So I jumped out the car and was obviously watching the timesheets with anticipation. And yeah, obviously we were knocked off by my teammate Jack LeBrock, who was 2nd, which was an amazing result. So I was Jack was 2nd, I was 4th. 2 Matt Stone Racing cars in the first 2 rows of the grid was really cool. First front row start for the team at Matt Stone Racing, and what a way to start our Sunday. It was really cool, a lot of excitement amongst the team, and for me, obviously we went into the start of the race too. So starting from 9th, had a really good start. Again, was able to move forward a couple positions, past a couple cars around the outside at the hairpin, which is cool. And I think we were roughly running about 7th at the time, which was going well. At the end of the pit stop sequence, I lost a couple of positions, but I had tyre advantage, and I got up behind Cam Waters, pulled a pass off at the hairpin, defended at turn 6, and he just ran straight into the back of me, pushed me off the track, and we lost about 3 or 4 spots, lost a heap of track position. I did eventually catch back up, made a couple of positions, but unfortunately we finished 10th in race 2. So it was frustrating to know that we could have been a couple positions better if we weren't knocked off the track, but these things happen, so we'll keep that in the memory bank for next time. But then obviously highly anticipated to get race 3 underway in a really good position. Starting in the first 2 rows of the grid was a great buzz for the team, and it was an opportunity for us to have a good result if we executed it to plan. And for me, got a reasonable start, slotted into 4th at the start of the race, and it was pretty exciting. Opening couple of laps, moved into 3rd by the end of lap 2, and then by the end of lap 3, went to go put a pass on Will Davison. Shane Van Gisbergen passed Will for the lead into turn 6, and that allowed me to get up the inside. We did make slight wheel-to-wheel contact, which enabled Anton Di Pasquale to get past me, but we filtered back into 3rd position and just kept our head down and tried to latch onto the leaders, and we were matching the pace of the leaders for the first part of the race, which was really exciting. We've made some really good improvements with the race car overnight, and that was proving to come dividends during race 3, which was perfect timing for us, obviously. So for me, it was just trying to get the head down, do some consistent laps, and we really executed the first part of that race perfectly. Unfortunately, we were slightly undercut by the Shell guys, so both Will Davison and Anton were able to pit early, and unfortunately when we come out of the pit sequence, we just come out behind Will Davison, so it was really close. If you guys got to watch the footage, it was it was really close battle between Will Davison and I to get out of the pits, and obviously I was trying to do my very best to obviously get past Will for the next remaining 20 or so laps. So it was literally nose to tail, stuck in his hot air, which obviously with the super soft tyre, and when we talk about tyre degradation, the worst thing that you can have is another car parked right in front of you, because obviously you're just driving in the hot air the whole way. So it did unfortunately fry my tyres, and it did make me a little bit vulnerable to Dave Reynolds, who had about a 10 lap tyre advantage on me, and he was able to drive in clear air, race up behind me, and sort of easily passed me in the end. And so he unfortunately fell back to 5th towards the end of the race. But regardless of the result, to be disappointed with 5th is a good problem, I believe, being round 2 in this year. Still very early on in the piece. So yeah, really pleased with the team's efforts. It's been a lot of work going on behind the scenes. So to see that reward so early on in the piece, to potentially be fighting for a podium this early on in the season is really cool. And no doubt we'll be trying to use this as momentum to keep pushing the team forward. And it's really put a bit of a shot in the arm for everyone to realise that if we get everything in place, that we can have a good weekend. So exciting times ahead for the whole team. Obviously now we've got a very short turnaround in between events. So I'm just here at the Matt Stone Racing Workshop at the moment. We're just getting prepared for round 3 of the Supercars Championship. We'll be heading down to Melbourne for the Australian Grand Prix. It returns finally after 2 years. So obviously last time we were at the Grand Prix, that was when COVID really impacted, I suppose, Australia, and all the events were shut down. So now to be returning, not this coming weekend, but the following weekend, to a sellout crowd over Saturday and Sunday is really exciting. Can't wait to go racing again and hopefully back up these amazing results that we had in Tassie. We currently sit P11 in the championship. I think only a handful of points, from the guys that are in sort of the back half of the top 10. So if we keep having some good, consistent rounds, there's no reason why we can't be knocking on the door, getting inside the top 10 of the championship, which is a huge achievement for the team at Matt Stone Racing this early on in the season. So thank you very much for all your kind support. It's been an amazing couple of rounds, and we're only getting bigger and better. So appreciate everything that you guys are doing for me, and look forward to seeing you trackside in the future. Cheers.